Welkom in Dwarskersbos. Welcome to Dwarskersbos. Let's go and explore. Many of the streets are named after flowers. So you've got Aunt Blom. And here's the very next street, and it's called Banksia Street. And just to give you some perspective, so Cape Town is over there, Dwarskersbos over there. Dwarskersbos is approximately 11 kilometers from Laaiplek and less than 2 hours drive from Cape Town. And as you can see, this is the main road connecting Dwarskersbos to other parts of the Western Cape. So you've got Laaiplek and Veldrif in that direction, and if you carry on with this road in this direction, you'll get to places such as Elandsbaai and beautiful countryside around as well here, of course. And it's a little bit gloomy today, not as sunny as I want it, but you can't always choose the weather. Here's a self-catering place, and check out this interesting surfboard and a witch that have collapsed or crashed here. Reminds me of the Hexahuis, the witch's house in Sutherland. And of course it was the election in South Africa recently, and check this out. They still have some placards here against the telephone poles. The Western Cape works, or choose freedom. Dwarskersbos was originally a farm that belonged to the Smith family, but in 1920 it was established as a town. And the latest population figures I could find for Dwarskersbos is 670, but that's from 2011. I've got a feeling there are a few more people in 2024 calling Dwarskersbos home. But let's walk down one of the streets and another flower themed street here, Dahlia Street, and get an idea of the neighborhoods. So Dwarskersbos, obviously a very popular fishing town and holiday destination, and you can see the beach and the ocean is just over there. So the main street and the coastline almost hugging each other. So your first impressions is that this is a very peaceful and tranquil town. The odd barking dog here and there. Hello, hello. But you definitely come to Dwarskersbos to live if you seek peace and quiet. So for all you Igoli fans, the soap Igoli, the late Hannah Botha, she was born here in Dwarskersbos. So we've reached the end of Dahlia Street here in Dwarskersbos, and dare I say, not a massively long street, but there is an entrance or access to the beach through a little path here, and the beach is a lot longer than Dahlia Street, and I'll tell you more about it in due course. But just getting through here, you can get an idea of a west coast at its absolute best, even on a cloudy day. Beautiful nature, lots of flora, and a beautiful Atlantic Ocean. Just crossing here, you can see the crushed mussel shells as well that you will remember we saw in Lambert's Bay as well. Lambert's Bay, of course, also on the west coast. And yep, here we go, the beautiful beach at Dwarskersbos, the longest uninterrupted beach in South Africa, and it's approximately 40 to 50 kilometers. That's what I've read. Let me know if you know the exact distance. Some say 40 kilometers, others say 50. So you have St Helena Bay and Stompnius Bay over there, and this beach apparently goes up all the way towards Elandsbaai. And an interesting thing about St. Helena Bay, that's of course where Vasco da Gama, the famous Portuguese navigator and seafarer, that's where he first set foot on South African soil on the 7th of November 1497, and he called it St. Helena, or Santa Helena as he shouted, after the mother of Constantine the Great. And not too far from here is the village of Pater Noster. Pater Noster, of course, is Latin for Our Father, Onze Vader. It's believed that the Portuguese first prayed Our Father here in this region, and so they named Pater Noster after the famous prayer. And it was common in those days for Portuguese sailors to pray when they reached land safely. So quite a lot of history in this part of the world. So when I did some research about Dwarskersbos, or a bit of reading, I found this book that was written by Johnny Eigelaar, and he's a legend in this part of the world for his contributions to the fishing industry. He grew up here in Dwarskersbos, and so this book gave me some insights into what life was like in the 1920s and 1930s in Dwarskersbos. Eigelaar said that in the 1920s and 30s there were not many houses in Dwarskersbos. There were only a handful, and the Tiart family was involved in the building of houses in the early years of the town, in particular at Oomsly and Klippies. So Uncle Salad and Uncle Stones, that is the literal English translation. I'm not sure it quite works out as well as it does in Afrikaans. And Eigelaar also describes Dwarskersbos as a great place for fishing and a great place to holiday, to come on vacation. And obviously fishing and holiday go hand in hand for some people. So the Smith family, who originally owned Dwarskersbos, the farm Dwarskersbos, they built some houses on the farm for the other farmers in the region so that they could come here on holiday and engage in some fishing at the end of a long, hard farming season. So you had a lot of farmers coming to Dwarskersbos to do some fishing, but also obviously many of the local people were fishermen. And one of those was Eigelaar's father. Eigelaar says that his dad only had work for 7 months of a year because the fishing season was only 7 months of a year. And in a good year, he would earn around £70. So that was a very, very limited sum of money in those years. And fishermen in general were a lot poorer than the farmers. And Eigelaar also recounts how he would sell some wood or pieces of wood to the farmers, maybe a bushel. I'm not exactly sure how big it would have been, but they would sell it for some extra money, around 6 pennies. Eigelaar's book is definitely a very good read, and I'd highly recommend it if you can get a copy of it, to read it, and you'll get some insights about life in Dwarskersbos. However, I'm not sure how widely available it is, so especially if you live in Kosovo or in Armenia or in the Dutch Caribbean. But don't worry, that's why I'm here, to tell you more about it here on Willie Explore. And we're going to explore a little bit more of the town as well, so stay tuned for that. As you can see here, we are at the Sofer Bay Lapa, which is here at the Sofer Bay fishing spot, a very, very popular fishing spot. In his book, Johnny Eigelaar mentions that it was very difficult to travel to and from Dwarskersbos in the 1920s and 1930s. The roads in the area were all sand, and it was thick sand and loose sand, so getting here was not easy. And in fact, the easiest way to get to Dwarskersbos from the nearby towns or areas would have been via the beach, because on a sunny day this long stretch of white sand would be baked hard, and you wouldn't have any issues traveling here with a horse cart or with a bicycle. Obviously today it's a little bit of a cloudy day, but you can still see the sand is relatively hard. So the beach in effect served as a massive road connecting Dwarskersbos with the rest of the area. And certainly in the 1920s and 30s, if you wanted to travel along the beach, it would have had to be low tide. During high tide, you wouldn't have been able to use a bicycle or a cart of any sort. And actually, talking about tides, on the 27th of August 1969, there was a massive 6-meter storm surge that caused significant damage in the area. Luckily, no one from the town was out at sea, but many people believe that the storm that happened on that night was a precursor to the earthquake. And some of you might have heard of the earthquake that happened near Tulbach and the Ceres area on the 29th of September 1969. So this storm on the 27th of August of the same year was a little over a month before the earthquake. And on that night, Eigelaar said that there were people out at sea, and even though they couldn't feel the earthquake, they could see from the mountains some areas burning. And they didn't know what it was at first, but when they returned to land, people told them that there was a massive earthquake. So 1969 is significant here, not just here in Dwarskersbos, but also the wider area of the Western Cape. I'm also walking on the longest stretch of uninterrupted beach in South Africa. Just look at this, it goes on and on over there. And I also believe over there, lots of uninterrupted beach, but also lots of kelp and mussel shells and birds. So the Rumour Nature Reserve is not far from here, and that is a reserve that attracts a lot of bird species. And just giving you another shot here of a beach. Not the best weather, unfortunately. Weather is one thing you can't always choose, but you can choose peace and tranquility. So you can choose to come to Dwarskersbos any day of the week, and I'm pretty sure the atmosphere will be as peaceful and tranquil as this. Here we have a remains of some structure. Is this perhaps a beach hut or a house even? Remains of a house, I'm not sure. Yes, loads of kelp and the beautiful Atlantic Ocean. There's a fishing net as well, obviously testament to the wonderful fishing area this is. Fishing definitely the heartbeat of the economy here. But let's go to the Laaiplek and have some food and see what it's all about. I've heard some good things, so let's go check it out. Right, just inside the Laaiplek here, and this is what it looks like. Beautiful spot. And here's the menu of hot drinks, cold drinks, milkshakes. You can see there, 34 Rand for a regular cappuccino, big cappuccino 38. And some of the prices here you can see there. The Laaiplek burger 115. So I went for the big T burger there for 125. And here on the back of the menu you can actually read more about the area and also the name Dwarskersbos. So this is in Afrikaans, but I will translate for you. It says there that the Kersbos have preferred dune sand to grow, and that there was once a giant Kersbos on the farm Dwarskersbos, which grew in an approximate east-west direction. It is generally accepted that the Kersbos is dwars, or goes across in that east-west pattern, as opposed to a south-north pattern. So rather than growing upwards, it grows lateral. That wordplay eventually led to Dwarskersbos. And it also talks here about how Rumour Bay has been a popular fishing spot since the 1920s and continues to attract loads of people to the area today. Thousands of people there. And my cappuccino has arrived here. You can see there lots of cream. Really nice. And here's my food, the burger. Just look at that. Look at all the caramelized onions, bacon, and obviously some chips and onion rings as well. Right, let's go for it. Let's give it a shot. Get some of the bacon and the patty in there. Oh yes, bacon's nice and crispy, the patty is well cooked, and yeah, cheeseburger always goes down well, so thank you very much, Rumour Bay Laaiplek. I'm just here with some of the friendly staff of Rumour Bay Laaiplek, and there they are. There's her. Oh, wat is jullie name?
My name is Devinai.
Hello. Yes.
Yes.
I am Serena Ricardo and I'm working at my channel.
Yes.
And I am Joanne Site.
Very nice to meet you all, and thank you for the friendly service and the great food. Appreciate it. Yes, I'll come again. So next time you're in the area, come and say hi to them here, and Rumour Bay Laaiplek. You can see there. Kom binne asseblief. Please enter. You'll have a great time. Or if food and drink is not your thing and you want to get married instead, you can come here and get married with a beautiful view of the west coast. And look, the sun's actually out as well. But yes, I wonder how many couples have immortalized their love here. A beautiful spot along the west coast, and for all you Instagram lovers, you can come and take a picture there and post it on social media, or Instagram, Facebook. And just giving you another shot here of the longest uninterrupted sandy beach in South Africa. Pretty special. I've just spotted the sign here, so it doesn't look like it's possible to drive on the beach now without a valid permit or exemption. So today, if you want to take the hard-baked sand beach road from Dwarskersbos to other parts of the area, you may need a permit. And here's yet another flower street, Erika. And as is the case with some of the others like Dahlia Street, they are very short, and I've noticed they are all cul-de-saqs. And in order to get back to the town, you have to turn back. Notice some lovely gardens here as well. Dwarskersbos doesn't get a lot of rain, so it's got very distinct plants that grow in the area. Yeah, so they all cul-de-sac. So Erika Street and Dahlia Street are not connected. In order to get from Erika Street to Dahlia Street, you have to go back to the main road and get access that way. But at least the people here seem to have access to the beach from all the streets, and absolutely a great privilege this is. I can tell you, if you live in a very urban area and you're far away from the beach, you do miss it. And here you go, there's another entrance to the beach, and there's another boat here, capsized boat. Yeah, typical west coast scene as well, and a beautiful backdrop, don't you think? I can see why some people would move here, for sure. Right, here's the next street, Frisia Street, and yep, the theme continues here. At the street ends there, in a cul-de-sac as well. So quite unique actually. Gosh, another flower street, Gousblom. So flowers and streets overload here in Dwarskersbos. I'll tell you what, if you don't like flowers as street names, Dwarskersbos is not the place for you. Another flower as a street name, Gousblom. And another short cul-de-sac. Right, so I've skipped a couple of streets, Hanekom and Iris, and I've noticed the next street is Jasmine or Jasmine. So I've got a feeling they are also alphabetical as you enter the town. Although I'm not sure, so let me know if they are alphabetical or they're supposed to be alphabetical. And here opposite Jasmine or Jasmine Street, you do start to get some businesses, or a school in this case. Let's just cross the zebra crossing on the busiest street here in Dwarskersbos. There you go, Slim Koppies, the private school. Slim Koppies, Clever Heads. It is ages 2 to grade 7 that will go to school here. And I read in Eigelaar's book that he said that before there was a school here, and I don't know if he refers to this one or another one, but he said that children had to go to a farm school at Severvlei or Ruseinedam, and that is approximately 4 miles from Dwarskersbos. And Eigelaar said that there was a school bus, but there were limited spaces on the school bus, so some of the kids had to walk. And they often had to walk barefoot because they didn't have shoes. Now in summer that might not have been a problem, but in winter it would have been very difficult, especially barefoot. And Eigelaar said that he got his first proper pair of shoes only in standard 7 when he went to Veldrif for school. So that also tells you a little bit about life in this part of the world in those years. It was very, very tough. People did not have a lot of money in those years. And here we've got a centrum of some sort, maybe the commercial hub of Dwarskersbos. What do you have here? Delhi. And yeah, they'll probably all be closed because it's Sunday. But yeah, here you go, more businesses, property businesses. Schoenveld, not sure what that is. You've got arts and crafts and more people here. Hello, hello. Yeah, it's a beautiful little display here. Very nice. Yeah, so it's a shame they're all closed, but to be honest, that's probably what you'll get on a Sunday. Yeah, surf shop. I don't know how popular surfing is in this part of the world. I know Elandsbaai, which is not that far, is a extremely popular surf spot. Not sure about Dwarskersbos, but yeah, a washery over here. And the different parking spots for all the businesses. So very organized. Small centrum, but they do like a bit of organization and discipline. And obviously Dwarskersbos, fishing town. So fish art, not too uncommon. Okay, it seems that even Dwarskersbos got fed up of the flower street names. Kalkwinkie. Unless Kalkwinkie is a type of flower as well as an animal, I don't know. Yeah, very, very impressed with people's gardens as well. And unique plants that they use. There's not a lot of trees in Dwarskersbos. There's certainly a lot of bush and other types of plants, but not a lot of trees. And yeah, this is what I love as well about the town. Yep, they all cul-de-saqs, but they all have a little secret path to the beach. And this one, I don't know what it is about it, but it's just got a certain mystique to it, a certain appeal. And yeah, look at this, they've laid all the stones here as well on the side. Reminds me a lot of Lambert's Bay, these little paths down to the beach. Yeah, not sure if you can see the container ships on the ocean there, but that is indicative of a lot of economic activity in the west coast. And just mentioning again the book of Eigelaar, and he said that his mother, she had to get groceries from the farm shop of Gert Tolkien, Kippie Tolkien, and his wife Aunt Locke, because Veldrift was too far away, and today it's a few minutes away, but in those days it was too far. At least they had a shop here in Dwarskersbos. And Eigelaar also said that there was a nurse who traveled all the way from Aurora. And by the way, if you haven't checked it out, go and check out my vlog on Aurora. Another beautiful town here in the Western Cape, in the Sandveld. But the name of her sister was Sister Brink. So the Tolkiens and the Tiarts of course, who built a lot of the houses here in Dwarskersbos, and Brink, Sister Brink, these were some of the prominent surnames who contributed a lot to Dwarskersbos. Ah, nope, so maybe Kalkwinkie is a flower, because here we've got Lily. The flower theme continues. And a little bit of excitement here because there's a bit of a curve. It's not a straight road. So street excitement here in Dwarskersbos with the curve. Right, so it shows you how poor my flower knowledge is, because I just met some locals and I asked them about Kalkwinkie Straat, and Kalkwinkie apparently is a flower as well. So definitely all the streets are named after flowers here in Dwarskersbos. And here's another centrum by the looks of it, or Agricel office, and there you can see the mini mark and the liquor store. So let's check it out. They all look pretty shut. Even the liquor store on a Sunday in South Africa, shut. Yeah, it looks all shut. Well, you can see Sprite. That is the drink of choice here in Dwarskersbos, or at least that's what the advertisement here says. Green color, synonymous with Sprite. And yeah, just checking behind here, Agri selling more Sprite. And a mini mark, is that open? It is actually open. Yes, let's go and check. Kan ek pas so 'n videoetjie neem hier binne? So reg van die markie. Ja, dankie. So this is the shop here. Dwarskersbos, just give an idea of what they stock. This is very South African, Mrs. Ball's chutney. You can see there 50 rand. I actually did a collab with another YouTuber where I gave him some Mrs. Ball's chutney. Go and check it out. I'll leave a link in the description for you. All gold, classic South African as well. And beet salads and curry beans. Yeah, big variety of soft drinks, so not just Sprite. And the back here, yeah, not a lot of stock, but there does seem to be a huge variety of things for sale. Just going through here, so you go the Re coffee, very South African as well, 80 rand. That's it. Jungle oats, all stuff you don't get when you live in England. And Pro Nitro, 70 bucks. Oh, check this out. Rumour. That is not something I've seen before, but it definitely caught my eye. Some sort of health drink. And the old Zambak, the old Sambok salve you find here. And Yeah, you can never be lost in the dark here in Dwarskersbos. You'll always have light with these torches and lantern. Yeah, interesting variety, lots of variety here in this shop. Yeah, so interesting shop. And yeah, here's another centrum and a little bit of color here with kayaks. And yeah, let's check this out. Beautiful flowers and a nice water display. Yeah, nice little restaurant. So they seem open. Goed, ag sê, ek neem so 'n YouTube video, is dit reg as ek so 'n bietjie afneem? Dankie. Waardeer dit. Yeah, beautiful garden here as well. Some of the plants that you get in the area, very distinct. And over there as well, typical West Coast. And we even have a friendly tortoise. Look at that. And a ladybug. Wave runner. And yeah, I've been away from South Africa for a while now, but look at all the shots you can get. Melk turkey, Turkish delight. You can even get snoekkop. That's interesting. And a shout out to Zanay in December 2023. It looks like she placed the stone there, or she commemorates her memories. And another surfboard, surfing reference there. So definitely surfing seems to be popular in Dwarskersbos as well. Must be quite nice to come and relax here. There's even a fitting room. And a lemon tree. And an orange tree. Yeah, beautiful. So this is a place where you can come and unwind with an alcoholic drink. And here's another impression of Dwarskersbos, these lovely seating areas around town and along the beach, and the decorations that go with it are magnificent. Very rustic, very authentic, and it just gives a fantastic vibe. Typical West Coast atmosphere and feel. And yeah, here's the beer garden again and the surf shop. And wonder what's in front. Yeah, it says there cul-de-saqs, so snail's pace. Maybe another resort. Let's go and check it out. You can see very distinct houses as well, with a thatched roof, and you can see the use of the crushed mussel shell as well over here. And wow, it does look like a storm is brewing, so that is not good news for a YouTuber or someone who tries to vlog. Have to stay out of the rain. But just to give you an indication, yeah, so this does look like a separate resort area. Still part of Dwarskersbos though, but yeah, private property, only residents. And it definitely caught my eye because of a name here, cul-de-saqs. So a sluck is a snail, so snail's pace. And yeah, this is the rest of a main street. You can see it's got a very, very long main street, and lots of traffic pass through the town as well. So I'd imagine if you live along the street, it might not be the most quiet of experience or existence. So what do you think of Dwarskersbos here in the West Coast? Let me know in the comments. And guys, if you haven't done it yet, please press the like button on this video. It really helps me out with a YouTube algorithm. It tells YouTube that I exist and that I make videos, and that it can promote my videos to more people. So please smash that like button. And please subscribe to the channel as well. I've got lots more great content coming. And I've got lots more videos on other parts of South Africa as well, if you're interested in other towns of our beautiful country. Right, and here's Papaver Street. I believe that this was the site, or around here was the bathhouses, the badhuisies, which the Smiths put up for those farmers to come here and enjoy a holiday or some time out in Dwarskersbos. And I think the caravan park is over here as well, and I speak under correction, but I think that was the original part of Dwarskersbos as well, in terms of the development of accommodation. Yep, I could have guessed. Another flower street, Rumour, the rose. And look at these tires that are now home to flowers, used as flower beds. And here you have Die Dwarskersbos Seekaya Pub and Grill, and a lovely mural depicting iconic bits of Dwarskersbos, the long uninterrupted sandy beach, some of the original houses, and the magnificent Atlantic Ocean. Right, they're not open, but I did spot a sign there: we do not make fast food, we make good food, as fast as possible. Waiting period 45 minutes. That is brilliant. Again, you know, just the art, all the things that people do in Dwarskersbos to make their town pretty. Look at this little boat. Here's one of those shell necklaces. You'll remember people like Mercer in Lambert's Bay produce art like this. Another water display here, and a little frog, and some of the things you can come and eat here: pizzas, burgers, chips, and of course seafood. Classic West Coast. Right, so I'm just on the other side of the road, so the ocean is way over there, the main road goes through there, and look what I found. A bit of farm in Dwarskersbos. Look at all the cattle. Yeah, there's Slakkerpas, so Snail's Pace Resort, and look at the contrast, the juxtaposition with this house here, an old house. I don't know if it's a good idea to go in here, but I'm going to try it anyway. Just very conscious of snakes or other enemies. Oh yeah, this is just a storing facility at the moment. But I don't know if this was a house, someone's house at one stage. And yeah, I mentioned earlier there's not a lot of trees in the area, but maybe I stand corrected, because there are a few here. And over there as well. Obviously it's winter in South Africa at the moment. And yeah, what a wonderful setting. I just love this combination of farm and ocean, and Dwarskersbos certainly has both. You got the farm element and you got the coastal element intertwined into one beautiful setting. Alright guys, I think I'm almost going to end this vlog, but I'm just going to show you the caravan park, the campsite, and it's got the name there on top, Dwarskersbos. So yeah, it looks pretty shut. So if I want to come and camp tonight, these are some of the things I'm not allowed to do. So no flashing lights, no hooting, no pets, no weapons, no fireworks, and no hawkers. But it does look pretty shut at the moment. Dwarskersbos Caravan Park. Alright, so I've just walked down Rumour Street, or Rose Street, because the caravan park is just over there. And if my gut is correct, the best stretch of beach should be around here, because they build campsites and caravan parks close to the best beaches. So let's go check out what it looks like here. And yes, a storm is brewing, but there's also a beautiful sunset in the making there. And okay, gosh, there is a grave here for Villa di Seekat. Wow, how special is this? So this is where Villa is buried. She lived from 2011 to 2024, so she only recently passed away. Yeah, that's wonderful that they did that for Fila, the cat. And yeah, just giving you another shot here. Some of the houses here as well, overlooking the ocean. And yeah, the west coast of South Africa is just special, guys. Obviously I'm biased because I grew up in Lambert's Bay and this part of the world is very much in my blood, but I have to say the west coast never ever disappoints. And yeah, check this out, just look at the color of the water here on such a gloomy day. And yes, now you can see a little bit more of the long stretch of white sand, uninterrupted beach. And yeah, gosh, look at the magnificent color. And I think there's someone actually fishing, or at least enjoying the beautiful scene here as well. Gosh, this is special. Special to be here. And what a privilege to show you this part of the world as well. But I think now is a good time to end this vlog, because I want to stay dry, I don't want to get drenched. But gosh, the sunset is magnificent. And a few birds enjoying it as well. You come to the west coast for the experience, the peace and tranquility, beautiful nature, beautiful people, and iconic sunsets. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Dwarskersbos here in the beautiful west coast of South Africa. If you haven't done it yet, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment for me in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching my videos, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers, take it easy. But today, if you wanted to take the baked hair, today if you wanted to take the hard baked sand route between